Hey everybody, it's Joel from 8400 Lights, and in today's Lessons Learned the Hard Way, I wanted to talk about pigtails. And what I mean by a pigtail is the length of wire between your very first bulb in your prop to your first connector as you go back to your controller. So here I've got just a regular string of LED lights, and in this case, this is my first bulb here, and my pigtail would be this length of wire here all the way back to the first connector that I have. So that's what I mean today when I'm talking about pigtails. So this is one of the spiral trees that I have in my display, and as is my style, these are just again standard LED strings. I've kept the pigtail on that very short and then used an extension cord to run back to my controller, which sits over here, and actually it's an octopus cable that I created using some SPT wire. But again, there are some people I know that will make that a very long pigtail, and I don't do that for my display elements simply because of the way that I store them. Having a long cable like that would make storage more complex rather than having that connector there. But it can be done. But again, typically on my preferred style of doing things is to keep those pigtails very, very short and then use extensions off them. So here are the new leaping arches I created for my show this year, and these are pixel-based arches. So if we look at the pigtails that I created for these, here we have them. Again, they're fairly short, which is my standard that I like to use. But in this case, they are also long enough so that I can connect one arch to another without needing an extension cable, which works really nice. This is the other new prop I created this year that I call the Cube. Again, it is a pixel-based prop where I have pixels in these clear plastic PVC pipes that go up and down. And then on the bottom of these, I have all of my pigtails coming out, all my cords that come out the bottom of these. Again, as is my style, I kept my pigtails very short, but in this case, I wish I would have thought about this a little bit more when I created these, because my pigtails are so short that I can't go from one tube of pixels to the next tube of pixels without needing to use a little extension cord. Now there's nothing wrong with the extension cord and having to put that in there, but as I was assembling this, I found that there was a lot more connectors to have to assemble and really added a lot of time to my assembly process because it doubled my number of connectors. That if I had made these pigtails just a little bit longer, I could have eliminated half of my connections here. So that is my lesson learned, is that I want to balance the length of my pigtails so that in a prop like this I don't need to use extension cables. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's Lessons Learned the Hard Way on watching the length of your pigtails, and if you're like me, you want to make them short, but don't be like me and make them so short that you have to end up using a short extension cord just to reach your next display element. Thanks again for watching. Please watch our other videos on our YouTube channel, 8400 Lights, and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.